Yes, guys, welcome back to the Just Talk podcast. My name is Tyler, as you guys know. Today, I'm here with my coach, my big brother. The main reason why I started doing this, you can introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Paul. I've coached Thailand for about a year, but I've known him for almost 10 maybe.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I coach Thailand on a week-to-week basis and also do a bit of work in pro football as well.
yeah. So as you guys know, I did a podcast with Roro, another one of my teammates, talking about our season as players' perspective. Obviously, Paul's my coach, and I just said, and I want to hear from him and his perspective and how we found it, and obviously how my season was, how you found my season and the team season and stuff like that. So first off, like, did you expect us to kind of like go how we did it and obviously do the double and like, what was your expectations and stuff?
The answer to your question is no. I didn't expect
Is
us to
it?
do what we did. Um, it wasn't until I think we got well into the season that I started believing a little bit. The plan's never to be the best and go unbeaten and do all of these things. The plan is always just to get better.
Yeah,
And I think that's something that I carry myself with sort of every day. Like I don't think, of course, look, everyone wants to win stuff and achieve and whatnot. But what keeps me grounded is I wake up every day and I think I just want to be better. Whatever yesterday was, last week was, last year was, I just want to be better. So coming into the season, I just wanted us to do better and show progress from what we'd shown the season before. I knew that we'd have a stronger team, I think, across the board, sort of pound for pound. I just didn't know. I maybe underestimated how good
yeah.
we would have been and how good we were. Um, I think obviously first game was limitless, wasn't it? I think
Well, my first game,
no, our first game I
your
think
first
was
game,
a season was limitless.
some I don't know, it was either
Might be
that or
wrong,
Pro
but
Elite.
yeah, whatever it was. I think obviously got some good results. You're picking up good results and stuff. Um, and I think it doesn't really start to become reality until you've won a couple and you're still unbeaten. You're going, we could do something here, and then sort of the mindset changes, and it's about again, it's not necessarily about we're gonna win this and we're gonna win that. That comes later, but it's just how far can you guys take the spirit and what we've learned and how you're playing, how much can we build on this? How much more can we do? And that's what it was all about for me, to be honest. So yeah, I'd say that it was quite unexpected at the start, but the more we got into the season, we get to January, February, and I'm
Yeah,
thinking, right, we could do this here. And then it became I won't lie, it became a personal thing towards the end of the season because I was like, you've brought yourselves this far, you've done the hard bit. Let's finish off properly
yeah.
and let's do the easy bit really.
That's great, man. Obviously, I came in from the Whites. Came in my first game was limitless. How do you think I did in that game? If you remember, obviously
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
a while
yeah.
ago.
Yeah, it was no good, good. I think the way we play, the way I coach is how I would have wanted to be
Yeah,
coached when I was younger. So a lot of what I do is player led. I want players to come to me with my ideas and tell me that I'm wrong, and we can talk about it and whatnot. I think for your first game, I think you did really well. Tough game, no subs, playing in a team you haven't played in before.
I was told in the morning as well. Remember you texted
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Playing against a team who are a very, very good side. No, I think you did well. Like I say, for me, the ability is great, and we all want to be the best player, and we all want to have the best players around us and
Yeah,
whatnot. But the base of absolutely everything has got to be you got to work hard, and you got to run, and you got to make tackles and affect play. And I think you did that really, really well. You know, especially in transition, I thought you were very good. So yeah, it was a good show, to be honest.
that's good. I want to talk about the cup final. Obviously, we did a lot of prep for that game as well. I really enjoyed it every single second of it. That whole day, waking up to obviously the celebrations after. How was it for you, and how did you find it?
Um, I I was nervous up until I got to the venue. The morning of the night before, the night before I was actually I think I was at a party, or the day before it was like a day party, and all I could think about was
Yeah,
tomorrow,
the
tomorrow,
final.
what's happening tomorrow. And then I think the week leading up to it, I'd watched footage and I'd looked at us, I'd looked at them, I'd thought about how I wanted us to play. You know, we were talking about changing shape and
Yeah.
diamonds and all of that malarkey. That's great. Um, I think the morning of, I woke up, you know, a bit nervous, but I said this to my brother, got there and it was like just enjoy it. Like nerves are gone. You've got here for a reason. You're not here by accident. Just enjoy the day. And I think the prep was really important
Yeah, I agree.
because I wanted us to play a certain way, but still be us. I wanted us to play on what I thought, in my opinion, were their weaknesses and what I thought were our strengths. So that is a little bit of that. So obviously had the PowerPoint, had our shape, what I wanted us to do. We had clips of the game before that. So just going through that, I really enjoyed that because it was a good experience, I thought, for you boys. Getting together in the morning, having those nerves calm down. It was really relaxed. It was really good vibes. And then I think I didn't take the warm up, but as soon as we started the game, I went, yeah, we'll win this.
Yeah.
Got some early goals. Game was pretty much done in the first half, I think. And that's not easy to do that against a side like that. You know, they're no, it's no mean feat. They're a good side. So to get the goals we did as early as we did and to control the game like we did, I thought was really good. And then the celebrations, I'm sure, you know, you've probably put the videos on it before, but
Yeah.
they speak for themselves. Like it was just honestly just a great experience because I'd never experienced anything like that as a player for various reasons. But to do that, you know, as a coach with a group that is my brother's age, so I see you lot all as like you're all Julius, you're all my
Yeah, yeah.
brother. So I look after you and I speak to you and I interact with you in that exact same way. And to do it with such a special group of players, parents, you know, coaches. Honestly, it was the best day. Really good day.
I was least nervous for that game in the whole season. That one game I was least nervous for. I told Roro, he was like, "You alright?" I was like, "Listen." When he said we have to get there like early, obviously I questioned it. I was with Danny. I was like, "What's going on there?" I was like, "Okay, now we're gonna win." Because I knew one of my guys played for Limitless. I asked him, "What time you guys getting there?" He told me. I said, "Oh, it's cool." So we got there. What was it like 3 hours before kickoff? I
Three
think.
hours, yeah.
Yeah. So that was good. Prep I enjoyed as well. Like you said, vibes were good and like everyone was a lot more together because obviously it was a final and something we could win. Um, we played against them the week after. I think that was a 1-1 draw. I had to
Yeah.
leave at half time. I saw some stuff on the VO. There was a whole like argument or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's football. Football brings out the worst in people sometimes. It happens. It's the game.
Yeah.
But it was a tough game. To be fair, going back the week after, exactly the same place, exactly the same team, with more at stake because they know that you beat them the week before to win a cup, and you know that you have to beat them or at least not lose to have a chance of winning the title.
Yeah.
So it was a very, very tough game. Again, I thought we'd win it. Maybe lacked a bit of concentration at the end, but look, it's football. It happens. We were carrying a few injuries. Squad was a bit thinner. But I think that game for me again and the final game epitomised what this team's been about, and it's been about character. For me personally, I know I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for saying this, but I don't necessarily think that we're the best team technically and individually. You know, I'd say that other teams maybe have better players and more special players,
Yeah.
but what we are as a team, and I think we work better than anyone else as a team. There's a lot of character. There's a
Yeah.
lot of right. I'm gonna pull my socks up. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna go and make that tackle. There's a tackle that Danny Pierce made in our game. There's like 2 minutes left, and he's pressing the fullback. That's what the team is about. It's about character. And that's what I think got us through it, our togetherness and sticking together. And that's the most important thing. I'm no genius, but I'm sure if you ask coaches in and out of the professional game who've won leagues and have done whatever, the most important thing isn't having the best player, isn't having the top goal scorer or the best keeper. Those things help.
Yeah.
But it's about having the best team. It's about having the strongest character. It's about not losing, not wanting to lose, and digging yourselves out of holes, which we did all season. So yeah, it was good, man.
I think when me and Ro went up to the Whites, like you said, the character and stuff, I feel like we got welcomed in as if we were there from the start, from the jump. So obviously, for me personally, that was a good kind of way of letting everyone know, or being let know that I'm part of the family and part of the team. Like I already was, but now I'm really into it. Obviously, part of the, like I said, just team in it. And then the week after we had the White Star game, that game was very nerve wracking. Obviously, Matt said that you still thought we were gonna win. I thought we were gonna win, but I wasn't as confident. If that makes sense. So, how's it for you?
Yeah, again, one of them things where started the game really well. Danny scored, and I said we'll win this. Um, then I think we took our foot off the gas a little bit. I wouldn't say I was angry or annoyed. I just knew what I needed to do or what we needed to do to get ourselves back there. Coming at half time, had a chat, whatever. Come back, still 2-1. The further and further the game was going, I know how it gets. People get nervous, change this, change that. But I have a belief in my team that I think is unmatched. In that I knew that pressure would tell. I knew that the longer the game got on and the more the ball was in their half, I thought we'd scored. Um, and I think keeping that shape allowed us to not panic. I felt like if we changed the shape, you guys on the pitch would go, oh, do you know what? Even he's nervous and he's panicking.
Yeah.
So it was more of a thing where stick to the plan. And if the plan doesn't work, we went out on our sword. We died doing it our way, rather than trying to get whatever. I don't really know how to go into that, but the main principle was let's stick to what we know. Let's stick to what's got us to this point, and let's go and win the game. And I knew when Bartu scored, I knew that it was only a matter of moments before we scored again. And I think again we got the penalty. Julius stepping up after missing one in the first half. I thought
your brother as well.
yeah, showed a lot of character. Like a lot of character. I don't think I would have done that. Put it away with aplomb. And yeah, again, the scenes after, man, were just nuts.
We were on the pitch, everything.
Yeah, everyone, running to the pitch, yeah. Opposition angry, mate. It was honestly everything. Inject it into my veins.
Yeah, I was proud of him as well, man. Obviously, he's my friend from primary, so obviously I see him as a brother, like you said. But yeah, obviously I'm happy that he went up. When he missed the first pen, I was like, what is he thinking? But like, imagine what he's thinking. Obviously, no one ran up to him in terms of to console him. So I was like, okay, he might be feeling a bit anxious and stuff. So I was like, I shouted. I was like, just keep going, bro. It's man or whatever. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So I want to ask a question about celebrations. What did you enjoy more, the League Cup or the League Win celebrations?
Tough because they were both good. Probably the League Cup.
Yeah.
I think because again the League Cup win had a bit of history in that we'd lost the year before.
Yeah.
We'd come back, won it against the team that we were in the title race with. So it just had that little bit extra. And the fact that it was a very convincing win. I think everyone was just like, okay, this is step one. And it gave us the confidence to then go on and win the league because we knew that we'd done well the whole season. This was really the first opportunity where we could go, hey, do you know what? We're a good team. So I enjoyed it, the dressing rooms after, went back to Holt Whites, and no, it was just a really, really good night. It's one of them things where I always say, and I think I said this to you boys, we're all going to go off, and do different things with our lives. 10, 15 years, some of us might not know each other, some of us still might, some of us are going to be working here, some of us are going to be working abroad, some of us are going to be playing football. But moments like those and days like those, you never forget. And no one can ever take that away from you. And I always say this to you boys when we have a negative result, like, you're not going to remember that you drew 0-0 to whoever FC in 2022.
Yeah.
But you are going to remember how you felt on the day of the cup final and how you felt after that cup final. So, yeah, like, it was just a really, really good day for me. I mean, the league title celebrations were a close second.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, change revivals were crazy as well.
Nah,
Obviously,
really
Courtney
good.
Halls was there.
Yep.
I did not expect to be there. This whole Premier League defender just chatting to us. Remember what he said as well? He was like, he said something weird, you know. I found it weird. He was like, Mas asked him, what do you do on like a match day? He goes, I just want to eat. Obviously, he wants to do well and stuff. And then I was starstruck, to be honest. When this whole like just player, obviously you work with them as well every day. So I wonder how that feels for you.
Yeah, honestly it's good. Lots of insight, and I think Courts is one where, you know, every time I speak to him, every time I see him, he's one that I pick up a lot off of in terms of his drive and his hunger. He wants to eat, like he says. Do you know what I mean? I think when you play the elite level of any sport, you just have to have something that keeps you ticking. Just that hunger. It's what's next? What do I want to do today? And I think it's a good thing to have in the back of your mind for life. Like I said to you earlier, I just want to do better. I want to be better than yesterday. I want to be better than last week. What's next? Just keep chasing that feeling. So that's what I said to you boys. Now that you've had that feeling of winning, it's like, let's keep chasing that. Let's keep chasing, you know, improvement and leveling up. But yeah, like I said, Courts, you know, top guy, and it's good that he's sort of donating his time, you know, because he doesn't have to do this.
Yeah.
He's donating his time, he's coming down, he's speaking to you lot, and you know, from conversations that I've had with him, he's proper invested into the club, and he wants us to do well, and he knows, obviously, look, he's had umpteen games at the top level. He understands what it looks like from there. But you know, every single professional footballer was a grassroots player at one point, so he knows what it's like for you guys. So for him to come down again, you know, big props to him. And obviously for us to do well in front of him, you know, it just makes it even more special.
Yeah. Obviously, you're talking about PowerHause and stuff like that. I see it here. How do you like come across it, and obviously agency, and like you getting all of these footballers in, lead ambassadors and stuff like that? Like, how has it come about and stuff? If I can ask, obviously.
Yeah, of course. I might have to give you a bit of a PR answer, but whether I had the job or not, I'll always be involved in football. You know, my cousin plays for Luton. I played myself. So football's always just been of interest to me. I maybe got to a point when I was playing where I understood that I enjoyed the behind the scenes stuff a little bit more than I did playing, which is why I've chosen to to go down the route. But it was just more about what I wanted to get out of the sport. You know, essentially what we do is we help people. You know, building relationships and talking to people and watching games. Like, honestly, sometimes I wake and I think it's the best job in the world, because you're there, you kind of get the best of both worlds. You see what happens on the pitch, and you get to speak to people behind the scenes and off the pitch and stuff like that. But yeah, it was something that happened quite naturally. Literally, just a bit of work experience, did well. Got a taste for it, loved it, and been doing it ever since.
That's sick. Has there been any other time where footballers come to you in terms of like to actually start with you, or did you have to ask them? If that makes sense.
Bit of both, but yeah, all the time. Happens all the time. You approach players approach you, but yeah, all the time.
See, that's the thing I kind of struggle with, because I don't like to ask people a lot to do things. Let's say this as well. I think I asked you. I was a bit like nervous to do so. You know what I'm trying to say? So obviously we're trying to get one for a long time.
Yeah.
Like I said at the start, I started because of you on the title podcast as well. We need more on that.
yeah. That's in the works. We're trying to sort something.
Yeah.
But I think for me it comes down to there's a saying, closed mouths don't get fed. So if you really want something and the only way you can get it is by asking, then ask, man, because you never know, it could open so many doors for you. Someone we did a podcast with, Rambo's talking, check him out. Check out Nipper as well, one of my favourite artists right now.
Yeah.
But when we spoke to Rambo, he was talking about networking, and he just said he's not bothered if he looks like an idiot when he's out networking, because it could open so many doors. Like, he'll go and he'll speak to people about what he does and how what he does can fit in with what they do and stuff like that. And in that moment, I was just like, do you know what? Like, you're so right, because putting yourself out there is one of the scariest things to do as a human being. You know, actually voicing your opinion on something. It's scarier than we think, because once you've said it, it's out there. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's more about, thinking about how much you really want that thing. And I am really glad that you asked me to come on here because I've got a lot of time for you, and I want to see how far this goes. I want to see how far everything that you do goes. So yeah, it's just about having that courage to put yourself out there.
Yeah, man. Another thing I'm gonna say before we come to the end a little bit, I want to say you've inspired me as well. 100%. Obviously, probably getting to meet you last year, getting coached and stuff like that. I told you this. I don't remember. I don't think you remember. We had a friendly against limits before the season started, and we were in your car, and I was like, "You're one of the most professional people I've met," because I found you like one of the most like respectful people I've ever met. So I do appreciate that as well. And things you said you have done, so it shows you are reliable as well. Just a nice person. I thought I'd say that as well at the heart.
Nah, I appreciate it.
You got a lot of love from my family as well,
Nah, listen, your family's got a special place in my heart, and like I say, I hate like talking about myself, but all it is bro, just putting out the energy into the world that you want to receive back. I'd say I'm very easygoing, and I'm quite open, and anyone who's anyone is a friend straight away. Do you know what I mean? So my brother vouched for you, and I try and treat people how I'd want to be treated, but in a way that always makes people feel comfortable and feel safe and whatnot. And like I say, it's just the energy that I put out that I'm trying to receive, and good vibes, all of that stuff. But honestly, bro, really appreciate that comment. And yeah, I'm excited to see where you go with this. I'm excited to see where you go in life, because I think there's lots of things you can do, and anything I can do, anything the club can do to help out.
Yeah.
Just let us know, man.
One last thing before we end it, something a bit off topic. Obviously, you went to the Nexus event, obviously up on the screen as well, back in February.
Yeah.
You can tell when you came to me, I did not expect to be there. I was going to text you saying, do you want to come, because my teachers dropped out, they couldn't make it.
Right.
How was that for you?
Do you know what? It's funny, because my friend, one of my best friends, Korai, invited me because his dad's a boxing coach. And I didn't expect you to be there, but honestly, it was a great event. It was a platinum performing arts. I didn't even know any of this. Like when was it Justin spoke about you?
Yeah.
Justin Cochran, good guy. I didn't even know. I didn't expect to see you there. But yeah, no, it was good. It was good to see you getting recognised, especially in the community, bro. Like, don't downplay how big that is. Do you know what I mean? These are the streets, but this is the area that we've grown up in and we've gone to school in and whatnot. Yeah. So don't underestimate how big that is. But yeah, no, it was a great event.
See me talk on stage as well?
Yeah. No, that's good.
There was an event like 3 years ago. If you saw, I spoke about this briefly on a video where I was year 7, short kid, dead trim, like everything, just high pitched voice, nervous. Obviously, I've grown confidence, stuff.
Got a podcast now, man.
Yeah, man. Trying to like, I'm saying to their guys, isn't it? Like, I'm trying to work now and not work hard later. I want to enjoy my life in it. So, yeah. If anything you want to say, any shout outs to anyone before we end it?
Shout out to everyone I love, which is most people. But it's just good being here, man. Good being here. We'll get another one in.
Yeah, 100. I appreciate you coming.
No worries,
Paul's socials will be in the description. My social will be in the description as well. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one.